Manchester United's newest goalkeeper, Andre Onana, has come under a hell of a lot of criticism after his recent performances for Manchester United. So Onana signed for Man United this summer for a fee of £47.2 million plus add-ons from Inter Milan after having a brilliant season with Inter Milan where they actually got to the Champions League final, and Onana put up some great performances for the club, catching Manchester United's eye, especially with his play on the ball. And some people have come out and said it's almost as if he's like a holding midfielder. He's got really good on the ball skills. He's a good shot stopper. He's not a great shot stopper, but he can distribute the ball as well like a midfielder. So that's really what caught Man United's eye, because with the evolution of goalkeepers now, they really need to be, well, good on the ball like Onana supposedly is. So Onana's Man United career really hasn't started that well. He's made a couple of pretty horrendous mistakes, and these mistakes have come in close games. Some of them have cost Man United games, some of them have nearly cost Man United games. So the first really big one was when Onana fell over in the 6-yard box against Nottingham Forest, when a Nottingham Forest player went through and he wasn't one-on-one with Onana because Rashford was near him, but he was just behind him. And then when he came out to try and stop the player from scoring, he basically fell over, and then the Forest player just stuck the ball in the net. Man United did end up winning that game 3-2 after a comeback, but at the time that goal put Forest 2-0 in front, and it did not look good at all for Manchester United. However, the next one was a very bad one. It was a shot from Sane against Bayern Munich in the Champions League, where it basically went through his hands and into the goal. That was another close game, but this time Man United ended up losing that game 4-3. So a really big game in the Champions League, and Onana makes that kind of mistake. And I know people are going to be saying that, De Gea was the same when he first came to Man United, but the difference there is David De Gea was in his early 20s. I think he might have been like 21, 22, and he was making those mistakes. Onana is 27, and he's been around for a while. He first played for Ajax, then he played for Inter Milan, and he's shown that he can play well. When De Gea came to Man United, he was very unproven. Well, not literally unproven, but he hadn't played in a league like the Premier League. So, I mean, I don't think it's a very good comparison that people are making. Two different situations, two different ages, two different points in their careers. And Onana was meant to be a good shot stopper, but if you're making these types of mistakes, then that is going to be a very big problem, especially at a club like Manchester United. So with all these mistakes, it doesn't help that the Man United dressing room was actually unhappy with the De Gea exit, because obviously De Gea was a very popular player in the Man United dressing room and also with the fans, even though there were some fans that were slamming him every time he made a mistake. So bringing in another goalkeeper, whoever that is, they're going to be under a lot of pressure to really keep up those performances. And even though people understand that whoever the new goalkeeper was most likely not going to be on De Gea's level, really doesn't matter, because Man United fans expect a certain level of play, and the fact that Man United got rid of De Gea means that they thought the player coming in could do just as good of a job, or at least they have potential to do just as good of a job. So really, with the performances, he is going to come under scrutiny. That is going to happen. Personally, when it comes to that, I do think that you need to give him time, but you can't give him too much time. If he was a lot younger, and De Gea retired or something like that, I would say give him a bit more time. But the fact that Man United released De Gea, I really do think that puts a bit more pressure on Onana. So getting into this with the Man United dressing room being unhappy with the David De Gea exit, the players were furious about how he was treated So I'm pretty sure that's more to do with the fact that he was just released, even though he was a popular figure in the dressing room. And alongside this, David De Gea also won the Premier League's Golden Glove last season with the most clean sheets in the Barclays Premier League. So he's still a very, very good goal. He's still a top goalkeeper, because with this Man United defence, you need to be a very good goalkeeper to keep clean sheets, never mind win the Golden Glove in the Premier League. I mean, so I do get why the players are unhappy, because they are clearly very, very content with De Gea being their goalkeeper, because he can clearly make the saves and he can clearly put up performances. Yes, he might not put up a great performance every game, but just look at Onana. He's not really putting up great performances for most games, to be honest. So none of this will do Onana's confidence any good, which is the one thing that you need to try and build up off a new signing. When you sign a new player, you need to kind of help their confidence grow, like just doing that gradually, and all these mistakes and all this criticism won't do his confidence that good. It will be difficult to build that morale, because every mistake he makes will be magnified. That's just what happens. He's a Man United goalkeeper. They will look at his mistakes and point out every little thing where he goes wrong, and then it will make Onana probably look worse than he actually is. That's why I'm not really quick to jump on the criticism and say he's a terrible goalkeeper. I'm just saying he's had a bad start, which isn't going to look good, considering that De Gea let's be honest, De Gea is a better goalkeeper overall. When you look at them as goalkeepers, De Gea is just better. And then, like I've been doing in this video a bit, I'll admit that, the constant comparisons to De Gea, and I think that this might not do his confidence. This might not knock his confidence as much, but then again, the constant comparisons with De Gea I don't think are fair at this point, because, as I said earlier, De Gea, well, at this point, De Gea was further in his career than Onana, and Onana has just come to Man United. So before the De Gea comparisons, I think it would be a lot fairer to kind of hold those off until Onana has had some sufficient time in the Man United kind of team to get used to it and to see if he can adapt to the Premier League, because giving comparisons straight away just doesn't make any sense to me. So overall, I wasn't thrilled with the signing, because people weren't really going on about his goalkeeping ability. They were going on more about he's so good on the ball, and then I was like, well, what's his goalkeeping ability like? And then people were just like, oh, it's good. And I'm thinking, it's just good, so we're basically signing him more for his ability on the ball then. To me, that was a bit of a red flag. And personally, I thought we should have kept De Gea, purely because he's showing that he can still play at a top level, even though it wasn't, he wasn't the goalkeeper he was. I'll admit De Gea was making mistakes, but they weren't anywhere near as bad as Onana's mistakes. So I think we should have kept him. Plus, he won the Golden Glove in the Premier League last season, even though some people didn't think he had a great season. So yes, those are my thoughts currently on Andre Onana at Man United. And I know I've compared him to De Gea a lot, but I've tried to make the comparisons fair. I haven't compared them directly like a lot of people have. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Andre Onana, how he started, how he's in a really awkward situation with De Gea being let go. And yeah, so let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Do you think it was a good sign? Do you think it was a bit of an overrated signing? What do you think about Onana? Do you think he can adapt to the Premier League, or do you think he will continue to struggle? So leave all that down in the comments. Thank you for listening to the video, and I will see you in the next one.